Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 32 of the Local to Global series here with the Canadian Wrestling Coalition. Now, we've got a big episode. We've got a really big episode, of course. We've got the unification match, which is arguably the biggest match in the history of the company at the moment. We're also, I guess, at the end of the episode, we're going to be getting a new broadcasting deal, potentially with On-Dem for maybe the next 3 to 6 months. Still a little bit undecided with how we're going to go with that one, but I'm leaning more towards maybe 6 months. And I only say that because we're not really, doesn't seem like we're gaining enough popularity per month to justify only going for 3 months, if that makes sense. Possibly the popularity might speed up if we actually go on to On-Dem, because we obviously get a higher coverage, go from very small in Canada and the US up to small coverage, which is obviously a little bit better, but I'm still unsure. So I'm thinking we go for 6 months, and that'll get us the popularity we need in Alberta to actually get us the 35 needed to get a pay-per-view deal with U Demand Canada. Or actually, I think we were going for the other one as well, weren't we? Let me just take a quick look in here. Obviously, you guys are probably a little bit sick and tired of seeing it, but it is this one, Canada One Choice. This is the one we're going to try and go with. Obviously, CWA, we've mentioned that quite a few times. So that might be the only preventing factor for us getting on there once we do reach the 35 popularity in 5 regions. But like I said, we do have a backup here. We've got Uniman Canada, who are 35 in 5 regions. They've got small coverage as opposed to the medium for Canada One Choice. Interestingly enough, TCW and QAW are both on U-Demand Canada. So I'm not sure if that could be a problem as well. Obviously, there's no actual Canadian company on that provider. The fact that there's already 2 might cause it to be a bit of a problem. Anyway, let's start advancing towards the show, and I'll do a little bit of talking here. Just wanted to reiterate that the new series is definitely out by now, Valkyrie Pro Wrestling. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the first episode, maybe even the first couple of episodes. I wasn't exactly too sure when to start it, because I wanted to get this series, like I said, in the first episode of that series. I wanted to get us a little bit, into the game, into the series, to the point where, we're not going to have 2 very similar companies or similar series running side by side. I didn't want to have, because Valkyrie Pro Wrestling is essentially, it's almost another local to global, if you will, with only, I guess, the added factors of having a starting $500,000 bank balance, and then obviously spending that to buy a dojo and different stuff like that. Obviously, the advanced challenge of also having very limited workers and having only 2 sort of natural national workers from our region. Anyway, enough talk about that. I'll probably talk about that a little bit more later, or maybe even in the next episode of Local to Global. But yeah, go and check it out if you haven't already. I might even put a little link down in the description if I remember. Got to take a mental note. I'll put the Valkyrie Pro Wrestling playlist in this description. So, if you watch this one and you haven't actually checked that series out, make sure you go and do that right now. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. It's very different to this series, obviously. Men versus women. But yeah, anyway. So Joe Sexy extending his deal. We've got Eric Tyler. Interesting. Not too interesting, actually. I mean, he's a really good road agent, but he's not a very good color commentator, so we're not going to worry about him. Belle Bryden, on the other hand, she is a pretty good color commentator. 82. But I'm assuming she's going to be probably too expensive. Can we even negotiate? We can. We can negotiate, but yeah, I mean, they're going 36,000 per month. And basically, I don't want to give too much away, but I'll show you really quickly here. If we go to Burning Hammer. I'm in the process of saving our money. because there is one guy that I would really, really like to sign in the future, and that is Casey Glenn, or Elakion, if you go by his Japanese name. Now, I'll show you his skills in a minute. You can kind of see them there. There's a lot of blue, so that should be a fairly evident, I guess, showing of how good he actually is. But he's currently on about 73,000. Now he has just under, well, he's got a year and 9 months essentially left from an initial 4-year contract. Once that runs out, I think it's going to be safe to say that hopefully, for one, we should be in a better financial position. But two, I would say just about every company in the entire world that is medium or above that has enough money is probably going to want to try and sign him. And this is the reason why. As you can see, absolutely top level. He's got 99 star quality, 100 basics, 85 selling, 90 consistency and safety. The psychology is a little bit low, only at 83. But even still, 83 psychology is more than enough for him to call probably a 60-minute match, really. If you look at his primary skills, just looking there, there's a reason why he's one of the best in the world. 71 brawling, 76 technical, 85 aerial, and 90 flashiness as well. The guy is an absolute beast. I guess his only real downfall is that he's not that good with his promos. But yeah, you don't really need promos when you're that good and you have this type of popularity. So as you can see, he's 86s across Japan. And I mean, if we decided to strap a rocket to him, there is no telling where he could eventually end up in his popularity. Anyway, let's start advancing again. But a guy like him, I think is probably, I mean, there probably might be other guys that come up between now and the year and 9 months before his contract, starts to run out. But when I look at everybody that's available, he kind of stands out to me as being the one guy that I would really, really like to get. There's something about him. I've never actually used him because he's always been signed under a written contract with TEW 2016. And obviously, we didn't really get too far in with TCW on TEW 2020. So, yeah, he's definitely one I would like to sign. And pretty much everyone else is kind of already at their top level. I'm talking about Ernest Youngman, Matthew Keith as well. Greg Gage could be another one, but I think he's probably near or pretty close to being at the top of... I'm not sure, is he with TCW or is he with somebody else? Might be worth checking a few of these workers and at least making sure they're on the shortlist so we get a message notification when their contracts are starting to run out. Otherwise, we could potentially miss somebody that we might want to sign in the future. Anyway, we've got a contract offer here for Roderick Flack. Roderick is pretty good. He does have really good primary skills. I guess the real question is, do we want to try and sign him for a relatively high price? I mean, he would actually make a pretty decent tag team partner for Zap Patterson, who's going to be coming to the company very soon. That's an interesting one. The thing is, we would have to give him, well, we don't have to give him a 10-year contract. But you would kind of want to. At least for the future. Anyway, we've got a pay rise request here. Wicked Lester apparently wants to be paid $230 per appearance. We got Mikey Lau joining CWA, so that's really not very good for us. Because, we are trying to go head-to-head with CWA in the near future. And as you can see, Mikey Lau is an absolute beast. But as you can see, that's an expensive contract. I think I talked about it a little bit in the last episode. But yeah, he's being paid $461,000 per month. for 4 years. That's literally the profit we make per month at the moment. That's insane. Anyway, at least he's, well, I was about to say at least he's gone from SWF, but it literally kind of just hampens us even more. Alright, so WrestleWorld, we've got 1 week remaining. We've got our last ever show on WrestleWorld. A little bit sad because, you know, we've come a very long way. But good to see that our merchandise is upgraded as well. Now is upgraded to a comprehensive level. So we need to start upgrading to the next level of that one as well. Interesting that Zelquin here, been hired by Black Maple. Very funny. Of course, he's a drug user. And turned up high to one of our shows and we fired him. So it's only fitting that he decided to go there. I mean, Elizabeth Cartier, looking like a pretty good manager. But I don't really feel like spending, you know, tens of thousands on a manager. Although, she's only 700 per appearance. And they're not negotiating with her. I feel like Elizabeth could maybe come in and manage Zap Patterson. Yeah, I'm going to keep a close eye on that one. I like Elizabeth. She's actually really, really talented. And if we take a quick look at Zap for a second, he does need a little bit of work on his entertainment skills there. Might not be a bad idea. Might not be a bad idea. It's also worth mentioning, but I didn't realize, but he's a muscular light heavyweight, so he's a bodybuilder as well, or former bodybuilder. So hopefully if we try and maybe get him to go up in size, he might accept it and stay muscular, which would potentially boost up his star quality above 90, which would also be extremely beneficial because we are going to make him our figurehead. I don't want to say straight off the bat because obviously that's not going to be a very smart decision. We want to get his popularity up pretty quick, but we also want to try and improve his psychology. His psychology is only in the mid-50s, and it really needs to be above 65 at sort of a minimum. Alright, so yeah, as you can see, Zap's contract hasn't begun yet, and unfortunately for us, Mighty Kavanaugh is with Pride Glory tonight. But once again, we've got Angry Gilmore passing on tips on using psychology to his protege, Bowden Snoop. Really good stuff there. Actually really happy with that. And of course, last episode, we finally got rid of the tension between Zeus and James Diaz. So now we can work on... Let's go Original Sinner. And we'll go Ray Cavallero. We've been trying to get rid of this one for quite some time. Unfortunately, not going to be too successful there. I think for this show, let's run in Ottawa. Because we are going to run in Toronto for that the actual pay-per-view itself. And of course, Ottawa, probably the second biggest city behind Toronto. Alright, so we know what the main event is going to be. We talked about it on the last episode. And it is going to be Angry Gilmore taking on Graham Gorman. Of course, they were tag team partners in that last episode. I think we'll just keep it at 16 minutes. I think that is the maximum amount of time Gilmore can go for. But it is going to finish a draw. I'm also going to keep Gilmore... Actually, I was going to keep him strong, but I don't think I will. I think we'll let it play out. So it's going to be slow built. It's going to be... I might go a tainted win, because it's going to be a bit of a tainted draw. And of course, it's going to be outside interference by Davis. Davis is going to attack Angry Gilmore. And then we're going to have Zeus attacking Graham Gorman. And of course, all four of these guys are kind of involved in a bit of a storyline. It's kind of a weird storyline, the way that it's a little bit different to how you would maybe run a storyline. And it kind of works because we don't have, you know, faces or heels. Obviously, in the scenario, I would say the Golden Goats are the heels, being Davis and Zeus. But they're all really heels, if you think about it. Gilmore, I would say, in this scenario, kind of the I would say, you would have to say he's kind of the face, being the face champion, and the people do really like him. And then you got Graham Gorman, who is probably more of a tweener. That originally the people were really excited for him. Then he did a no-show at the pay-per-view to potentially win the CGC world title, which Davis ended up winning anyway. And obviously the fans really didn't want Davis to win it, so they kind of hold that against Graham at the moment. Either way, that's a really good match. No title is going to be on the line though. I'm just hoping that I'll show you Angry Gilmore here for a second. He's up to 86 popularity. The guy is absolutely insane. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we take the belt off him. But then again, I don't know if we decide to go with Davis. It's just, I'm so torn for this main event. I really am. I honestly have no idea. And what I think I might do is, I think when I'm recording the main event, I'm going to make this screen go black while I book it. So you guys will not be spoiled. I will not say a single thing about who wins the match. But it's going to go, well, it's obviously going to go one or two ways. And hopefully, you guys will get a nice little surprise there as well. Anyway, let's book the rest of the show. Now, I wanted to do this on the last show. I wanted to have the Moneymakers. That's what I wanted to do. The Moneymakers taking on Young and Wasted. Worth mentioning that Young and Wasted are actually they're getting pretty. I think they're on 90 tag team experience together, so they're really getting up there. And I'm really happy with both of them. I think it might be time to actually give them their written exclusive contracts, because I mean they've just been a stalwart, both of them. You know, both of them as a team, and I guess even to an extent as individuals as well. It's really been solid. Now, what else were we doing? We were doing Aussie Goldstein was going to be taking on Stephen Parker. So what I would like to do is have we essentially need a match for Goldstein. So let's go Goldstein. He might be in a bit of a tune-up match. So let's have him take on who does he need to take on? I guess someone like maybe Zippy Devrel. Yeah, we'll go Zippy. It's actually going to be a good match for Zippy, and he needs the this psychology in there as well. So Goldstein's going to win, but there is going to be a distraction at ringside. We'll go Steven. I was going to think maybe we go with Jackpot Jordan instead, but I think we'll go that way. Actually, I want to change the referee to RM Stones. And then we'll have an angle after that match leading into the Moneymakers tag team match. Just to sort of bring the whole storyline together. Who are our number one contenders for the tag titles? That's really something I need to look at. So the Crew got a victory there, but I don't think that was number one contenders. I mean, it might be possible that we haven't actually done anything. Oh, actually, we were doing this, weren't we? The whole, yeah. I almost forgot. We were doing the whole 4-team number one contendership match. So, did we do a fatal 4-way? I think we did, didn't we? Yes. Oh, so that's going to ruin that storyline, or that match together. I guess maybe we could just do Diaz taking on Blue Dragon. It's not a terrible option, and it does, I guess in a weird way, still... Actually, maybe we'll go... Oh, yeah, we'll go Diaz. I was going to go Jack Pride, but I feel like there's not going to be enough psychology in that match to make sure it's good enough for the show. So we'll go that one. We're also going to need a tag team match. Who have we got left? We've got the Crew. We've got Los Hermanos as well. Let's go Los Hermanos 1, taking on Doomsday Generation. We'll just give that one 10 minutes. This can be our storytelling match as well. We'll give the victory to Gonzalez. I mean, he's essentially a stable leader. But it's just not really at the forefront of anything too special. So now I'm thinking about it, we could... I kind of want to go Gonzalez taking on Papa Swole at the pay-per-view. So instead of having Gonzalez win, let's have Sinner win. We'll have Frost lose. And then we'll have an interference onto Gonzalez, not by Robinson, by Papa Swole. And I would like to make that the match finish as well. Although it's, yeah, maybe we won't. Because it's technically Frost losing and not Marco. Yeah, I mean, that should be fine. There we go. And of course, like I said, we'll have Gonzalez. Either Gonzalez can take on Mighty Kavanaugh, or he can take on Papa Swole. Either way, I think we'll be in for a good match. Okay, so we've still got 43 minutes. Of course, the TV show does go for 2 hours. And we are eventually going to be gearing up towards... Actually, I think I'll go another singles match. Go Bowden Snoop and Giant Brody. Do that. Yeah, just 10 minutes. I don't want to bury Bowden Snoop, so we'll keep it open, but I mean, under normal circumstances, I would probably have Brody dominate. So that's all fine there. Let's do our angles, and then we'll sort out everything else. So we're going to have an end of show angle with Angry Gilmore. And I guess we'll do maybe an attacking angle. So we'll go Gilmore selling, and then we'll go with Davis and Zeus. And they can be fighting, I guess. Do I want to do fighting? Maybe we go Davis on entertainment. Yeah, so let me swap this around for a quick second. Go Zeus there, and then let's go Davis here. So Davis is going to be entertainment. Zeus is going to be attacking Gilmore. We will script that as well. Now we can actually go for 8 minutes, so that's better. And we'll also advance this long-running storyline we've been going with for like the last, I don't know how long, 2 or 3 months. Essentially since Zeus and Gilmore came to the company, which I believe might have even been last year, I can't remember. Either way, it's been a very good storyline. So we need to go with a... Yeah, I'm not too sure what I want to do here. Let's go Stephen Parker and Jackpot Jordan. And we'll put Aussie in here as well, but I'm not too sure what I want to do. I guess we'll go entertainment for maybe just these two. And I guess they'll have a bit of a back and forth between each other. Do they have a storyline? They don't, do they? Yeah, I mean, I should probably put them in a storyline, or I should have already done that, to be honest, but there we go. That'll go after Goldstein's match. What else have we got? Maybe Los Hermanos? Yeah, so what we'll do, we'll go Gabriella, go Marco, just these two, and then he can cut a promo, or Gabriella will cut a promo about Papa Swole off screen. And I think we'll script her as well. I guess the real question is, do I really want to try and improve Gonzalez? I want to improve his entertainment skills. Yeah. Oh, we also need to... I forgot to add the stable. So let's add our new stable. Well, it's not really new, but... yeah, I've forgotten the name. Forces of Darkness. Of course, consisting of Zombie Boy. Alright, so there we go. Forces of Darkness with Zombie Boy as our leader. We then got... I guess we'll go Sinner first. And Wicked Lester. I guess we'll just make them both members. No real point in doing anything too silly with that. Are they going to be a faction? Yes. They'd be maybe a cult, really. Or a brother. They'd be more a cult. Let's go a cult. I've never actually changed the actual storylines. So a 3-person cult. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Then we've got another faction there. I guess this one would be a brotherhood, really. Yeah. If we can modify it, can't we? All right, let's change that to a brotherhood, because obviously their stable name is Brothers for Life. So it just makes sense. So we'll have that before the match, which will lead to Papa Swole's involvement. And then I think we've still got a little bit more time. So maybe we go for Diaz, and I guess we can put in Jack Pride as well. Have them both cutting an angle, possibly saying that they're trying to become the #1 contenders for the tag team titles. Be pretty beneficial. We also need a storytelling match, which I guess can be this one. It kind of makes the most sense. There we go. All right, and then I guess we'll kick off the show with a giant Brody menace angle. Simple. Very, very simple. It's going to go for 4 minutes. There we go. That looks pretty good if you ask me. We will do a pre-show tag match. I think I want to get John Greed. Actually, let's go a 6-man, because I want to get a few people in this match. I want to get John Greed. I want to get Mobstar. And I probably want to get maybe a Sono. I'm just trying to think. Because a Sono is already on. Yeah, we'll go a Sono. I was going to say he's on a written contract. So I guess is Zombie Boy at the same time. So is Davis, but I don't really... I mean, Davis is already appearing on the show. It doesn't really matter too much. I guess they can maybe take on... Yeah, the Crew. They can take on the Crew, and we can put somebody else with them there. Maybe like yeah, Jay Silver. Why not? Give that 12 minutes on the pre-show. More just a match to hopefully improve everybody else that's in there. I think we'll give Mobstar the victory as well. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Mobstar. I really found a very soft spot in my heart for him during the Road to Glory series. All right, so there we go. Let's run the first show of the episode. We start off with a 59 rated pre-show match. We have John Greed, Mobstar, and Uterus Sono defeating Jay Silver and the Crew in 12:05 when Mobstar pinned Jay Silver with a flat and a DDT. And as you'd expect, Mobstar head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. We got 71 in ring for Mobstar, 50 for a Sono, and then a 55 there for John Greed. Yeah, that's interesting. Papa Swole is actually doing pretty well, almost up to the same level as Uterus Sono. Solid 47. All right, so we then open the show with a 64 rated menace angle from Giant Brody. As you can see, he's also getting better at his gimmick. But basically, he's doing what he does best. He's, 6'9" or something like that. Absolute, I'm not sure, is he a super heavyweight? He might be. He might be. But yeah, just comes out, says he's going to destroy whoever is in front of him. And, of course, unfortunately, that is Bowden Snoop. And the match gets a 58 rating here. And we have Giant Brody defeating Bowden Snoop in 9:46 by pinfall with a single-handed chokeslam. Yeah, I mean, this 61's pretty good for Giant Brody in the ring. Solid enough for a 10-minute match. But unfortunately, we've got Bowden Snoop, who has a gimmick that is getting stale. We'll try and remember to fix that. Although Bowden's he's not really too high on my priority list. All right, we then go into a 66 rated angle from Not a Team, of course, Diaz and Pride. And they basically say that they want to win the Fatal 4-Way #1 Contenders match at the pay-per-view. And they want to go on and become tag team champions. Which is, not really something that they would have expected when they first became tag team partners, of course. They officially made their team name Not a Team. There we go. That leads into Diaz's match against one half of another member in that Fatal 4-Way match, getting a 62 rating here. We have James Diaz defeating Blue Dragon in 11:42 by pinfall with an Asian thumb spike. Yeah, it's a good match. That's a really, solid mid-card match. Although you can see Diaz with a solid 65 in-ring performance. He's slowly starting to creep up above the mid-card. I would say he's probably upper in... Sorry, he's probably eventually... Well, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. He's almost an upper mid-carder. We'll leave it at that. Alright, we then move into a 49 rated angle. We have Gabriela Ortega and, of course, her client, Marco Gonzalez. And she basically says that, Papa Swole is not even close to the type of man that Marco Gonzalez is. Gonzalez is a leader, is a natural-born leader, and he has proper pride in his heritage and his culture. And she says the same might not be said for Papa Swole. He's not a leader. He's just another drone for Mighty Kavanaugh. Let's change his gimmick there. So he's gotten a Latino pride gimmick, getting an initial rating of adequate. And the rating's likely to rise over time as the fans get used to it. So it gives a small boost to star quality during matches and angles. But he can be penalized for being used in lengthy matches. That's a little bit interesting. I've never seen that one before. Okay. We then go into his match, which gets a 53 rating. And surprisingly, we have Doomsday Generation defeating Los Hermanos 1 in 10:21 when Original Sinner won a match, pinning Louise Frost with a chokeslam. And of course, during the match, we also had Papa Swole run in and attack Gonzalez. Yeah, so there we go. Original Sinner. That might be his first ever win. I'm not even joking. I might check that. I'm not sure he's ever won in his whole career. Like, he's actually gotten the pinfall. Maybe he has. Maybe very early on. Like, within those first, 2 episodes that he was, we actually signed him. Anyway. Yeah, Gonzalez, absolutely, the standout 52 in-ring in this match. We then go into a 59 rated match where we have Aussie Goldstein defeating Zippy Devrel in 11:41 by pinfall with a golden shower. And then, of course, during the match, we also had his storyline rival at the moment, Stephen Parker, distracting Aussie Golden during the match. As you can see there, Goldstein benefiting from having a hot new move. And, of course, surprisingly, actually, Zippy Devrel with a 48 in-ring performance. Obviously much lower than the 68 for Goldstein, but that's still up there. That's respectable. Alright, we then go into the subsequent angle, which gets a 65. And of course, we have Stephen Parker, and of course, he's flanked by his tag team partner, who are in action next. And they approach Goldstein, and Stephen Parker talks some trash to Goldstein. Goldstein responds by saying, I'm going to beat you at the pay-per-view. You might be thinking that you're making me look like a fool right now, but I'll get the last laugh, and I'll be the winner, getting a pay-per-view bonus. Yeah, Goldstein not looking too happy. He's a little bit fired up for this match against Stephen Parker. Anyway, they go into tag team action, getting a 68 rated match. That's actually impressive. I like that. And that's a lot higher than a lot of the in-ring performances, as you can see here. But we do have the Money Makers defeating Young and Wasted in 11:45. Stephen Parker pinned Brett Kyle with a Make It Rain. Stephen Parker was really off his game. So that's unfortunate, but it's still a really good match. Yeah. Taylor Norton with a 63 in-ring performance. I'm giving these boys contracts. I pretty much have to at this point. They deserve it. All right, we move in to the main event, which gets a 72 match rating. Unfortunately, get a negative chemistry pop up here. They don't seem to click and are made for an awkward bout. That's frustrating. They still got a 72 with negative chemistry. If they had normal, neutral chemistry, 75 or above, probably. Anyway, we do have Angry Gilmore drawing with Graham Gorman in 15:50 when the referee lost control and stopped the match. During the match, we also saw Davis Wayne Newton run in and attack Gilmore, and Zeus Maximilian attack Graham Gorman. So yeah, match ended in chaos. The referee lost control due to the interferences on both competitors. But up until then, it was a pretty good match by the looks of it. We had a 63 in ring for Gilmore and a 61 there for Gorman. Leading into the final angle on the show, getting us an 87 rating, we have Angry Gilmore being attacked by Zeus Maximilian. And of course, we have Davis Wayne Newton on the microphone saying that he is going to become the unified world champion and he's going to take the belt away from Angry Gilmore. 87 is a solid rating. Obviously, most of it... Actually, it was selling... Yeah, Gilmore was rated on selling. Zeus was rated on fighting. And then, yeah, Davis was rated on entertainment. So, that's kind of interesting. Either way, it's a really good show. Alright, so we get a 73 rating there for our go-home show for Coalition Wrestling. And yeah, and increasing our popularity in 56 regions. So I believe that is also Ontario. So hopefully we'll eventually go up a little bit more. Seems like the TV shows really don't sort of increase your popularity very much. Not even... It doesn't even seem close to what the sort of events or the pay-per-views increase it. Anyway, we got 255,000 viewers there, so that's pretty good. Happy with that. We've got Cwa Championship Wrestling there. I mean, that just goes to show how far away we kind of are. They got a 95 rating for their TV show. Their main event was a 99 rated tag team cage match with the Mob, Sunny Wildside, Aaron Knight defeating Christian Price and Jared Johnson. And then their women in the semi-main event getting a 97 rated match as well. We've got Brooke Tyler taking on Lauren Easter. They're going to be tough to beat. They're going to be very, very tough. I'm not really too sure how we're actually going to beat them. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're just going to have to, I guess, I don't know, maybe try and steal some of their stars and try and at least get them. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be tough. I mean, we're going to have to just try and maybe make more money than them. Maybe doing smart broadcasting deals or something like that. I don't know. It's going to be weird. Anyway, take a look at the size. I don't think anything's changed since the last episode. But we did, in the last episode, we did actually get a popularity increase. Anyway, let's go to the Festival of Violence. Only a couple of days to process here. And we're in for our biggest ever match. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are as well. Like I said, I'll try and make the screen go black while I'm booking it. Just, I don't want it to be spoiled for you guys. Because, you know, obviously, if you're watching the video when I'm booking, most of the time you see who's the winner, even if I'm not saying it out loud. So the rest of the show will, you know, essentially I'll show you while I'm booking, as I normally would, but I just feel like this main event's way too special. And the potential is there for this to be our, you know, best ever match as well. I know we got a 95 rated match on the last episode, but everything that's sort of going on with this, you know, this particular match, you know, both titles, the world and the world title there as well. I'm kind of thinking that I might actually just edit this title and I'll put the CWC logo maybe on the sides here and leave it like that. Maybe even put like a little mini one in the middle there. But I want to leave the CGC in the middle here. And we might just run with this title belt. I think I might actually call it the CWC Unified, or yeah, CWC Unified World Title or something like that. Just to make it a little bit different. And obviously we are essentially unifying the titles, so it makes sense, you know. It's a fairly easy way for us to call the title something else. Anyway, let's put the show one last time onto WrestleWorld there. Almost a little bit sad, but at the same time, Yeah, it's not. Once again, we're going to be without Edmonton, which is really unfortunate, but you know it is what it is. We'll move on. Potentially, I guess we'll make the main event just that little bit worse. But yeah. All right. Interestingly enough, we got Aussie Goldstein this time passing on tips on using psychology to his protege, Robin Newman. So, Bowden, Snoop, Robin Newman. I mean, they are essentially a jobber tag team together. And they're actually both improving a lot. So, pretty hilarious. And we are expecting 30,000 fans for this show. So, we're definitely going to Toronto. That's insane. 30,000. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to black out the screen here. I wonder if I can do it like this. Yeah, so there we go. Hopefully that worked. It looks like it's still recording, but I'll turn it back on in a second. So you can still see my face. Hopefully you enjoy it. Obviously my face isn't really going to give anything away. Or hopefully it's not anyway. Let me just get this one booked in here. I think we'll keep it at 16 minutes, just because that almost seems like the best amount of time to go for. And I think there's only I want to say there's only one way to go, but I don't think that there is one way. It's such a tough decision for me to make, but I feel like I almost have to do it. And we're gonna have some interesting stuff happening in this one as well. Actually, will I? I'm gonna make it clean. You know, we're gonna go clean. I was gonna have maybe a botched interference, but I think we'll keep it clean. And I think that looks pretty good. So I'll turn this back on now. There we go. And the match is booked. The match is booked. Gonna go down in history. All right. Up next, we need the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. So we'll have Not a Team, Red, White, and Blue. Who else was involved? Young and Wasted. And Feel Good Inc. Yes. We'll give this one 20. I think we can. I'll take a look after this, but I think we'll do this. And we're actually going to give the victory there to Primetime Jack Pride. Biggest match he's probably ever won. Actually, one more thing I need to do. I need to double check the road agent. So I'm going to make the screen go black again, just to double check I got everything right. Okay, let me just check this real quick. Okay, it's right. It's correct. All right, we're back. All right. Next match, we need Stephen Parker. Let's make this a weapons match of some sort, because we are at Festival of Violence, so it makes sense. I would like to go First Blood. Should we go First Blood or maybe Last Man Standing? Let's go Last Man Standing. I like that premise just a little bit more. Okay, so it is going to be, where is he? Stephen Parker taking on, there he is, Aussie Goldstein. All right. Going to be a good match. We'll give this one 20 minutes as well. I think this one kind of goes without saying who's going to win it. Basically, it's more or less the storyline's going to continue with these three guys. Originally, my plan was to do a tag team match here, but what I think I'll do is I'll save that maybe for TV or something like that. I think a TV main event could potentially do pretty well, so we'll go with that. I want to make Robinson the Ray Agent for tonight. What else have we got? We have got... what else was I doing? I don't even remember. Yes. Papa Swole and Marco Gonzalez. We'll do them in a specialty match as well. Maybe a tables match. Something simple. Simple and easy. There we go. 1v1 tables. All right. So, Gonzalez taking on Papa Swole. And I guess for maybe storyline purposes, we'll have everyone banned from ringside. And yeah, give Gonzalez a nice little victory there as well. I might make it tainted. Because obviously, Gonzalez... I see Gonzalez as like an Eddie Guerrero type. So I think that's kind of the way we want to sort of roll with him going forward. Might also swap these two matches around as well. Alright. What is next? We need a match for Zombie Boy. Let's go a 3-on-3. Let's go Zombie Boy. So we'll have our first real look at our new stable, Forces of Darkness. I know they were supposed to be versing Los Hermanos, but I think for this event or this pay-per-view, we'll put them in a match with a few jobbers, to be fair. So let's go Chip Martin. Let's go... Let's go with the boys. Let's go with Robin Newman. And where is he? Am I not seeing him? Oh, he's not here. Bowden Snoop's not here. All right, we'll go Charlie Corner. Actually, no, we'll go Pepper Pelton. Good old Pepper. Yeah, we'll give that one 12 minutes as well. And obviously, Zombie Boy will pick up a pay-per-view victory there for himself. Good stuff. We could probably keep that one to maybe 10 minutes. Well, that's fine. It's going to be a bit of a stinker anyway. We will actually keep that to 10 minutes. Because we're slowly running out of time. And we do have one more match to go. And that is, of course, Graham Gorman and Zeus Maximilian. Okay. Yeah, we'll give this one kind of needs 12 minutes, really. And it's going to be a bit of revenge there for Graham. Pretty sure we can script this one. Doesn't need a slow build. And it's going to be decisive, so there we go. And I think that'll run first, and we'll work the crowd with that bad boy. Not going to be too many angles on this show. We will go pre-show matches as well. Go a pre-show tag, and we'll have our current tag team champions taking on Los Hermanos. Make that Art Reed as well. And we'll give it to Stan Manor there. Nice and easy. Basically just another match because they're not going to be on this show. And then finally, I think we'll go maybe 2 singles matches. Go Giant Brody taking on Porkchop Patterson. Make this a squash match on the pre-show. And Brody will dominate. There we go. Nice and easy squash match there. Probably... Oh, I'll put that on the main show. Oopsie. We don't want a squash match on the pay-per-view. Let's just say that. And then finally, we'll go a tag team match with John Greed and I guess Doc Hammond? Maybe Mobster. Yeah, we'll go Mobster. And they can take on Mighty Kavanaugh. And where is he? Public Enemy. That looks pretty good. That should probably be on the main show. Looks like it could be good enough. Anyway, doesn't matter. And we'll give John Greed the victory in that one as well. Okay. And it looks like something, probably referee. Yeah, RM Stones. Okay, so we need to make this shorter as well. That's actually a good thing. I want to make that. We'll make it 12. Oh, I didn't even do a slow build on it. Okay, it's perfect. Now we have more time for angles. We got 2 angles, I guess. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, let me just make that Dace as well. There we go. I mean, not that the referees matter too much, but change those around. Okay, so angles. Goes without saying, we have to go Angry Gilmore. We want to try and get the best rating we possibly can before the main event. Where is that? Down there. I'd probably have changed this to maybe 2.5 hours. I said I was going to do that for our pay-per-views, but obviously forgot to change it. I then want to go with Goldstein. And, yeah, I think just Goldstein. Actually, let me have a look, because I want the angles kind of be important, and maybe I'm thinking Gonzalez might need an angle that'd be more beneficial for him. So let's go with Gabriella. Let's go with Marco as well. And actually we'll go Mighty Kavanaugh as well. And basically it's gonna be Gabriella calling out Mighty Kavanaugh after the match. So he's gonna be off screen there as well. And that'll actually lead into Kavanaugh taking on Gonzalez at the next pay-per-view. Alright, so we need 1 minute from somewhere. We'll take it off this match, that's fine. Perfect, okay. What's our problem now? Robinson's doing too much. We'll change that to Reed. Should solve our problem, there we go, perfect. Alright, and that's gonna go right there. Okay, we're looking good. That's working the crowd, perfect. Alright, here we go, guys. The biggest ever match. I really don't think there's a way to... Yeah, I don't think there's a way to actually... What's move title? Yeah, I'm not too sure what move title is. But I don't think there's a way to actually unify belts. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Anyway, I've looked into it a little bit, but I haven't really gotten all that serious with it. Anyway, let's run the show. Alright, so we start off with a 34 rated pre-show match where we have Giant Brody squashing Porkchop Patterson in 5 minutes and 6 seconds by pinfall with a single-handed chokeslam. As you can see, Giant Brody shown in this match, or yeah, John. We then move into a 57 rated pre-show tag match with the Rock City Stars defeating Los Hermanos 2 in 11:49, and Stan Manor pinned Louise Frost with a rock and roller. Solid in-ring performances there from the Rock City Stars. Of course, they will be taking on the newly crowned #1 contenders on the pay-per-view. Well, not on the pay-per-view, but on the next pay-per-view. Oh, nice. We got Ray Cavallero debuting a new power spot that showcases his ability to sell. His psychology will be helped by being able to use it as a go-to spot in the future. That's beneficial. Anyway, we then go into our final pre-show match, getting a 61. That's hilarious. Where we have John Greed and Mobstar defeating Mighty Kavanaugh and Public Enemy in 11:49, when John Greed pinned Public Enemy with a crash diet. And yeah, Public Enemy was the weak link. And yeah, Mighty Kavanaugh and Public Enemy don't work well as a team. Their timing is all over the place. So therefore, they're never going to be a tag team. And they're never going to wrestle together unless it's in a 6-man tag with Papa Swole in there as well. Anyway, whoa, okay. So, we start the show off with an 82 rated opening match. Yes, that's right, 82. And it was a 12-minute match. Wow. So we have Graham Gorman defeating Zeus Maximilian in 11:34 by pinfall with a Gorman aghast. And of course, Graham getting a little bit of revenge back on Zeus, of course. Since he's come back from missing that pay-per-view last month, he's essentially been targeted by Davis and Zeus. And yeah, I think he did lose to Zeus back in the second TV show of this month, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been the first. Can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Getting a bit of revenge here for all the shenanigans those guys have pulled. And yeah, both of them getting a 70 in-ring performance. And obviously, somehow this match was just really well booked, I guess, because it somehow managed to get an 82. So there we go. We then move into our... Oh, that's bad. Definitely should have gone with a different match instead of this one. We get a 32 rated match on the pay-per-view. But then again, 5 of these guys are essentially, or more or less, jobbers. And only one of them has any real sort of potential. But we do have Forces of Darkness debuting together as a stable. And they defeat Chip Martin, Robin Newman, and Pepper Pelton in 9:11. when Zombie Boy pinned Chip Martin with a flying double stomp. And yeah, as you can see, the match cooled the crowd a little bit. Not good enough. Anyway, we bounce back a little bit going into a 52 rated match where we have Marco Gonzalez defeating Papa Swole in a tables match in 950 when Papa Swole was put through a table with a DDT shortly after the referee missed an earlier moment when Marco Gonzalez was put through one by Papa Swole because of a distraction by Gabriela Ortega. That's a really detailed, tainted victory there. I like that. That's really good. So yeah, Gonzalez was already put through a table, but Gabriela was distracting the referee when that happened. So the referee had no idea who actually went through the table. And then, of course, we get Papa Swole being DDT'd. Not really too sure how you would DDT someone through a table. That's an interesting one. Maybe it was like, picture this in your head. They're standing on the ring apron. There's a table set up on the floor outside the ring. And I guess Gonzalez kind of lifts him off and DDTs him straight through the table. That's kind of the only way I can really think about that. So I really couldn't see a guy of Papa Swole's size standing up on a table. It would surely break. Anyway, it's a pretty good match. I'm happy with that. And of course, we go into the subsequent angle, which gets a 58 rating. And we have Gabriela Ortega, this time calling out Mighty Kavanaugh for a match at the next pay-per-view for her client, Marco Gonzalez. And yeah, once again, she worked the crowd well, which I think she was scripted last time. So that's kind of good to see because I probably should have scripted her again. Anyway, positive. I'll script her next time. Okay, but there we go. That's the next match for the next pay-per-view. Gonzalez taking on Mighty Kavanaugh. Alright, we then go into our Fatal 4-Way number 1 contenders tag team match. And we get a 60 rated match for this one, which I think is really good, actually. I'm pleasantly surprised. But we do have Not a Team defeating Red, White and Blue, Young and Wasted, and Feel Good Inc. in 11:51. The order of elimination was Red, White and Blue first, then Feel Good Inc., and finally Young and Wasted. So yeah, there we go. Number 1 contenders, Not a Team. Really good match. We've got Diaz with a 70 there, Kyle with a 61, and Taylor with a 63. Actually, that was Gary Walker. Oh, Taylor only got a 59. Gary Walker with a 63. That's actually surprising. Okay, fair play. Put a bit of disrespect on his name, didn't I? Anyway, we then move straight into our semi-main event, and it gets a 78 rating, which is very, very... That's quite good. That really is quite good. We have Aussie Goldstein defeating Stephen Parker in a last man standing match in 20 minutes 14 seconds, and Stephen Parker could not beat a 10 count after a golden shower. Solid match, boys. Really, that's impressive, that one. That's definitely main event quality. On any TV show, that's main event quality. So I'm happy with that. Had a 76 from Goldstein and a solid enough 65 from Stephen Parker. And you would have to think, with a victory like that, in that sort of fashion, Goldstein's probably edging himself back into title contention. Possibly. Because like I said, this storyline's not exactly over yet. We're going to have one more match, which will be a tag team match with Stephen Parker and, of course, his tag team partner, Jackpot Jordan. And they'll verse Goldstein and a partner of his choosing. So, yeah. All right. Here we go, boys. We then move into a 100 rated angle from Angry Gilmore. He looked good, enjoyed having the freedom to go off script, benefited from having a hot catchphrase. As you can see, the announcing desk, Lee Bambino and Grace Harper were both pretty weak. They deserve better announcing and color commentary, despite getting the maximum rating possible. That goes to show how good Gilmore actually is on the microphone. All right. He says that tonight's the night, he cements his legacy. He's going to go down in history. He's going to become the unified world champion for the coalition. And he's going to bring some respect and pride back to the wrestling landscape in the CWC. Oh, take a breath. Take a breath. Here we go. Okay, that's solid enough. Get an 85 rated main event here. 85. I mean, it's not a 95 like the last episode, but an 85 for a pay-per-view main event. That's very solid, and I'm very happy that this match actually paid off. All right, so we have Davis Wayne Newton defeating Angry Gilmore in 16-21 by submission with an STF. We have Davis Wayne Newton making defense number 2 of the CGC world title. We have Davis Wayne Newton winning the CWC world title, thus unifying both belts. And well, they're not unified yet, but they will be. And of course, Davis, he leaves with both titles around his shoulders. And Gilmore, well, just wasn't good enough on the night. A clean victory, a decisive victory, and we now have a unified world champion. What a match, eh? What a match. Get a 91 in-ring there for Davis, the GOAT himself, now becoming the first ever unified world champion. And of course, we have... Excuse me, almost lost my voice there. We also have Angry Gilmore with a pretty solid 73 coming from the 45-year-old worker there. Very, very impressive. Match also deserved better color commentary. So there we go. Okay, let me check the penalties, actually. What do we got? We got stamina. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Stamina for a 16-minute slow build. It was a slow build, correct? Please tell me, yeah, it was definitely a slow build. What else? Obviously, declining physical ability, and it got penalized for poor color. Okay, so, yeah, really not a lot. And maybe if we had Ed Monton as our road agent, could have potentially given us even more of a boost, maybe? Possibly. Anyway, here we go. Let's end the show. All right, we get an 83. Interesting. I've never seen that before. I understand why. I think why it's come up. We get an 83 rated show, which is, I'm not sure if that might be our best ever show. I'm not sure. I will double check. Yeah, we would have gained gained popularity in 2 American regions, but growth was restricted due to the limited number of viewers, which I think is because of the very small coverage we have with WrestleWorld. So we've definitely outgrown WrestleWorld, in my opinion, but it increased our popularity in 16 regions. There we go. Anyway, I think we have to go with Davis, and we have to go with Gilmore. I mean, what a performance. And with those two, I mean, who else? I think I might go Graham. Graham Gorman. Yeah. It was either between him and Zeus, because their 82 was very solid to open the show as well. And don't forget, it was only a, 12-minute match. 12-minute match with literally no build before it either. To come out straight out of the gates and get an 82. I mean, it almost beat the main event. Main event only got an 85. So it was pretty close. Anyway, we got an opinion here from Graham, and he thinks Wicked Lester has poor ring psychology, and the kid is probably not worth keeping around. I mean, that's a bit harsh. He's up to 50. Yeah, Lester's doing pretty well. Yeah, leave him alone. Leave him alone. I like Lester. And we've got our viewing figures. Only 104,000. So the TV show on Ondem is getting about 250,000 plus, whereas the pay-per-views are only getting about 100,000 plus. So that kind of just goes to show that it's not looking too good. Now, we actually beat the Classic Wrestling Showcase, which I think is just their TV show, isn't it? The ACPW. Yeah, that's just their TV. Okay. I was going to say that's pretty special, but it's, yeah, kind of not. Okay, so what I wanted to do Have a look at size first. We are indeed up to 69 popularity. Ha ha ha, very funny. Actually, yeah, we're definitely gone up in Ontario. Actually, I think we've gone up everywhere. Yeah. I think we went up to 48 because we're at 46 at the start of the month in Quebec, and we're at 45 for Manitoba, and we're finally up to 35 in Saskatchewan. So we have the required popularity in that region to get a pay-per-view deal. So that's perfect. We're up to 26 there in Alberta as well. So it's lagging behind, but we're only 9 points away. 9 points, and we have pay-per-view, which will be wicked. Anyway, we now have how many days left? We have 1 day left for our pay-per-view. For Wrestle World, sorry. So let's advance to 1 day. That deal will expire, and we'll jump onto On-Dem for another 6 months, which I think should be more than enough. The options are 3 months, 6 months. I'm not sure if 9 months. I think 9 months might be an option. And then obviously 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, so on and so forth. But I think 9 months is an option. Anyway, got a pay rise request here from Ryan Turner. We'll just give him what he wants. They're still so cheap, really, when you think about it. And there we go. The broadcasting deal has finished. Delete that. And let's go into the broadcasters now. And we've literally already got that there. But let's go to On-Dem, negotiate. And we want a new deal for events. All right, here we go. So we want, yeah, as you can see, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or 1 year. I want to go for 6 months. Obviously, there's no time slot because it's a internet broadcaster or subscription-based broadcaster or whatever it is. I think the maximum we can get is 60. Yeah, the max we can get is 60%, unless we want to pay more per show. But again, I would like to do some testing with that to see if the extra 4,500 you pay would equal more money from an extra 5% in revenue there. That'd be very interesting. Anyway, we're not going to do it for this series. I don't want to mess around. We'll just stick with our 60%. But there we go. Yeah, it is events. It said TV show there, and I was like, it's not a TV show, it's our events. But yeah, there we go. We are On-Dem. Small coverage for the US, Canada, Mexico. Who else have we got? We've got England, so the UK in there as well. Unfortunately, only tiny coverage in Japan. But we've got very small in Europe now, which is massive, positive for us to get. And then, of course, we've also got small in Australia. Well, technically Oceania, but yeah, I like to call it Australia because it's just New Zealand. And then obviously some of the regions in Australia. And yeah, tiny in India there as well. Although I'm not really too worried about India, as I'm sure most of you guys aren't either. Anyway, next thing I want to do before we end the episode is to offer some more written contracts. This time to our boys, Brett Kyle, and of course, Taylor Norton as well. So we're going to go exclusive written per month. And I think we're going to go, we have to go 10 years. These guys are our boys, man. They really are just, they're our boys. We have to go 15K. It needs to be done. I mean, they're going to be worth more in the future anyway. And we're locking them down for 10 years. So, there we go. There's Brett Kyle. Let's do Taylor as well. Good old Taylor. I love him. Absolute beast of a performer. Get rid of that merchandise. They don't need any merchandise. They're getting 15K per month. And the other thing we need to do before we end the episode is to increase the merchandise once again, because I forgot to do that. Anyway, I don't really think there's anyone else we want to give a written contract to. I do want to check while we're here. Yeah, so Gilmore only lost 1 point of popularity. 1 point from losing the world title there. That is insane. And what about Davis? Oh, yes, that is so good. 87 popularity in Ontario. I almost kind of wish I gave him a longer contract. Considering how good Gilmore and Zeus are at their age. Oh, that was a mistake to give him that contract. Only 4 years. I should have gone like 6 or 7. Damn it, that was a mistake, because when his contract's up, he's probably gonna be a lot more expensive. Anyway, it is what it is. We got him for 4 years at that level, and then he's probably gonna shoot up to probably about 300k or whatever. It's fine. It's fine. We might, when he gets to that age, we might just, make him sign a per appearance contract or something. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, 87 popularity. What increase was that? I think it was on maybe 82? 81 at the start of the month. Wow. That's massive. That really is massive. Okay, what about Graham Gorman? Because he had a pretty impressive... He's up to 66 from what, about 58? 59. Okay, I like it. Coming along nicely. Going to be a true title contender as well. He kind of already is, if you think about it, beating Zeus. So yeah, we've got some options. Obviously, Gilmore's probably going to want a title rematch. I think he's almost deserved one. We'll probably do maybe a steel cage match or something special to sort of commemorate it. We were going to do a steel cage for this event, but I decided just a regular match is probably more beneficial. So we'll do a cage match, and then we'll either run with Aussie Goldstein for the month after, or Graham Gorman. Either one of those two. I'm thinking maybe Aussie Goldstein. And during that time, we'll just try and build Graham a little bit higher up the card and give him a little bit more popularity. Because I think Goldstein, Goldstein's already ready. He's ready to go. And of course, he just beat Stephen Parker as well. And as you can see, we made another pretty healthy profit. Yeah, 458,000 for the month of April. Very solid. Up about, what, 40,000? Oh, sorry, 30,000. Quick maths there. Yeah, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good indeed. Somehow the production was a lot lower. Maybe that's because we upgraded. Yeah, I think it's because we upgraded in that month. Okay. Understandable. Anyway, title prestige. We're still at 70 for the world title, for the CGC. And we're only up to 46 for the CWC. So technically, we'll probably... This is the hard part. Basically, I want to run with this belt, with the history of this belt, right? Because obviously this is our original company history for our main title. But I want to get this prestige. Now I'm thinking that the only way to potentially do this is to maybe go into the editor. We'll retire this belt here. Go into the editor. Change the prestige. I don't even know if you can do this in the editor, but change the prestige of this belt up to 70. And then we'll change the picture to the edited CGC title belt that I was talking about before, with the coalition logo over the belt straps here, and then maybe like a little one up here. And like I said, we'll keep the heart where the CGC is, just as like a bit of a memory, because it is going to be the unified world title. So let me know what you guys think, but I think that's what I'm going to go with, and I'll probably do that off camera, because obviously it involves a little bit of work. Anyways, that is going to wrap up the episode, guys. Sorry, one more thing. Merchandise. You're probably screaming at me, but here we go. Rapid fashion. I mean, it's only 600 per week. It's really not that much, really. Yeah, as you can see, I mean, merchandise sales by worker. Angry Gilmore. Essentially making the most. Interesting that Diaz is only making $100 in merchandise. That's pretty hilarious. That's really funny. Yeah. But yeah, good to see Gilmore. I'm assuming Davis will actually be higher than Gilmore's now. It has actually got more popularity, but yeah, there we go. Anyway, let's start upgrading. Going up to level 6. Let's see how fast we can get there, eh? How fast are we going, actually? Okay, so it's 4%. I think that's the same as it was last time, wasn't it? I think it is. Anyway, there we go. That's going to be the end of the episode, guys. Please make sure you have smashed the like button if you haven't already. Please do it. It really does mean a lot, showing the support for the series. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel. There are still a lot of you that aren't subscribed. Don't really know why. You should be subbed. I know you love the series, and hopefully you enjoy me as well. Apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy, and goodbye.